You're probably wasting one of your best assets when it comes to new releases as an artist, and that's your cover art. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Self-Made Artist series. I'm Worf, the creative director and artist. You've seen me do a bunch of different topics, and today I want to cover something that I see a lot and I see a lot of people doing wrong, at least wrong in this day and age. Now, if you're an artist and you're thinking to yourself, well, I made my own cover art and I released it with the song and that's that. Well, that's a more traditional way of promoting your graphic art or promoting your record as a whole, but you can go a lot deeper, and that's what I want to touch on today. We're going to go a little bit into the design of it, not too much because every piece of cover art or graphic art is going to be different and unique to the particular record or song that you're releasing. I want to go more into the idea behind it and how you can use it in creative ways to go farther than just typically releasing your cover art with your song. So let's dive into it now here in Photoshop. Traditionally, you would make a record and then start thinking about your cover art, or you would hire a graphic designer or somebody like myself to make your cover art or whatever, or now in this day and age you can use AI and make your cover art, whatever you want to do. But the reality is most people are going to sit there and take their cover art and put some music behind it and say, here's my new song. But the thing is, this cover art can go so much farther than just posting it one time and calling it a day. So, first off, I want to talk about this particular cover art. I won't go far into it, but I'm just going to talk about what it is. For the Wharf and RC project, what we have coming up is a melodic house, progressive house, and the ways of like Adriatic, Rufus du Sol, music like that. So it's an EP coming out with 4 tracks on it, and we called it Love Life. Okay? We have a lot of pink hues and pink tones, pink and purple, violet tones in our music, in our releases, and you can see that in releases like The World is Burning, Fill My Void, and Purgatory, and some of the earlier stuff. And there always is that kind of hue or look to our brand. So first off, that's what we did here with this cover art. We called it Love Life. I added the text here at the bottom, and I reflected it myself here in the water. A few things about it. It's RC and myself. Little island because it's just us. And we added in, or we comped in, a little plane because our life is music. Our life is meant to be traveling and spreading art and spreading music. So that was the whole idea behind the EP. And here you go. Here's the cover art. So traditionally, I could take this piece of cover art, put the audio behind it, and say, here's my record, and post it one time, and that's the end of that. But the reality is, as I'm recording this on June 4th, 2025, carousels are huge. Everything that makes your viewers retain more and watch more is more beneficial to you. And you can also add, by using some of these concepts I'll talk about, you'll also be able to add a lot more depth into your release and telling your story through your cover art. And this is especially helpful if you're an artist that doesn't particularly like to be filming themselves talking. I was there too. I've only recently got out of that, so this is what you see now. Anyway, let me show you what you can do with a cover art past this point. So, what I like to do is take my press release, which you should have with all your records. And if you don't know what a press release is, or you don't know how to make one, leave me a comment and I'll walk you through that in another video. Anyway, let's zoom out here for a second in this project. It started here. Now look at how many different pieces can be added to this piece of cover art. So, now I can get into, with my press release, talking about the release itself, who we are, our group, our project, whatever we are, what the songs on it are about individually, and you'll see over here, here is a slide, particularly with all of the records that are on it, and then talking about our brand, our EP, the whole story behind it, the individual records, when they're going to come out, who is this project for, who would be interested in our music. Um, it gets really, really personal and story driven about who RC and I are as artists. So now, not only does it give you, here's the cover art that we made and the songs that we make that you may or may not like, but now you have more insight into who we are as an artist, allowing the people that do like your music, that are going to potentially like you guys as human beings, as individuals, to be really sucked into your world. And that is hugely important in this day and age. So it's the exact same cover art, and you can post it however many different times. But it's so important to not just use your cover art for one thing. You're going to be promoting, especially something like an EP, for a month, 2 months, 3 months. You know, there's 4 tracks on it. So you're really, really going to want to stretch that as far as it goes. And doing something like this is super important to be able to lengthen that time. Like maybe you'll take your cover art at the beginning, this one, and you'll put a teaser, a teaser of the audio behind it, just a slight fade in, a slight fade out, just to like pique the interest. And then maybe you're going to post this with this, as a next post in like 3 days from now. And then maybe as the EP is coming out, you're going to be releasing your press release in a full carousel so people read your whole story about it. And then maybe do everything all together. The other thing that you really, really should be doing is making different dimensions of this as well. So I've created templates for the different story post dimensions where you're going to post it there. The portrait post, because Instagram is now rectangular as opposed to square. And SoundCloud banners, Facebook banners, all of this. So you want to be able to plaster this EP, this new project that you're going to be promoting for a while, across so many different platforms. So take this as a piece of advice. Understand that you as an artist need to be pushing your music as far as you can possibly take it. I think the difference between yourself as an artist and the other artists that are more successful is their ability to continuously post their art and the same piece of art or the same concept to that art. So you really, really need to be creating an entire world around one release, one EP, one album, and just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. The more creative that you can get with that release or with that story behind that song, EP, album, the better you're going to do. So that's it. That's literally talking about your cover photo and how to make it go the distance. Let's quickly just talk about how I actually made this cover art, because I want to make this video a little bit longer and I didn't expect to gloss over it that quickly. So here is cover art in Photoshop. Here's my background. Let's just turn everything off. It started First of all, it started here. Started here with a more of a natural looking sunset. I put an airplane into it, not sure where in the process, but I did put an airplane into it. And then I cleaned up the water like this, so it was more of a natural reflection. And I'm pretty sure I did that by just glancing over like this, and then you can use content aware fill or generative fill. And then it does a really good job, the AI in here. So here's what it looked like before, and here's what it looked like after. I tried a few different options for the text with the reflection because I wanted to just see the difference, ultimately landing on this one. I probably should have reached for Cinzel at the beginning, the particular font, because that is our particular brand. When we're doing melodic stuff, progressive stuff, it's for the dreamers, it's for the people that like melodic and progressive and more musical music as a whole, or more musical electronic music, and this is our brand font. Then, lastly, effects. So this is just very, very simple. hue saturation to bring it more into our Wharf and RC world. It also made more sense for Love Life EP. And just some curves, just making it. Pretty sure I just gave it the old S curve right up here. And that's that. Pretty basic if you know what you're doing and you can create a nice little piece of graphic art. Fantastic. The only difference between this one, the main cover art, and this is I just took Love Life and faded it out and put it on the top, and that is it. The most is going to be is how you talk about your brand there and how you get people to read it. Now, if you're watching this here on Generation Media Group, I haven't posted this on Wharf and RC, so this is an exclusive for you. If you're not following us on Wharf and RC, go ahead and do that, because we make some great music, and we would love you to be a fan. So that's it for today. This was about your cover photo. I hope it gave you some insight into how you can push your content further, how you can make unique graphic art for your brand, how you can make unique covers and single artwork to make your release stand out a little bit more and make it go the distance. So with that, that's the end of this week. We'll see you next week on the Self-Made Artist series. Next one. Peace.